The Walking Dead has reigned over our screens for a long time now. It came out 12 years ago and has kept fans hooked ever since with the brilliant storyline. But all good things come to an end. The veteran show is finally breathing its last with Season 11. And from the looks of things, we're in for a time jump. Join us as we talk about The Walking Dead Season 11 jump, as teased by the new opening narration. Let's start by talking about the season and why the jump is expected. So is it true? Is the show gearing up for one final time jump along with one final season? We have a sneaking suspicion it just might. Usually the seasons of the show are divided into 2 parts, but the 11th season broke free from the tradition when it was split into 3 parts. The third and final part kicks off with the episode titled Lockdown. This is where we start to get suspicious, because you see, the episode doesn't start from where they left off in the second half of the release, with the whole fallout from Connie's explosive attack on Milton. Instead, it starts with narrations, with a montage of some memorable scenes from the past years. The disembodied voice that talks over all the images of the characters like Rick, Shane, Merle, and more belongs to none other than Judith Grimes, the ever-loved Judith, who's been shooting zombies since before she could talk properly. Well, she doesn't sound any older, which means that the jump wouldn't be a particularly long one. But if you've watched the show, you know that sometimes they like to mix it up and reveal different events in different timelines. The nostalgia nods towards a jump, but there's something else that solidifies it. The opening sequence has its own flair, but then Judith said, "Others gave into the darkness. That was a long time ago." While saying this, we see the faces of recent villains, Leah, Milt, and Horns come on screen. But her second sentence being said over their faces indicates that Commonwealth trouble might just be a distant memory, or at least they got through it. Up next, where would a time jump lead us? You might ask, okay, so there might be a time jump. Got it. But how long? Now, we don't have a magic mirror, but we have magical guesses and speculations. Judith is around the age of 11 currently in the series, and she still carries the same voice in the opening sequence, so the time jump can't be a big one. And with the show ending, it wouldn't make sense to end it with a huge jump. That'd require more context and background. But here's the catch. Judith is played by Kaylee Fleming, who's 15 years old, and can play a slightly older version of her character. When talking about why and where the time jump may lead to, we think it'll be something that shows a system in place to show some stability. It'd also leave some sort of an unstable end to show there's still a future in the fictional world. The best idea floating around as of now is that Milton and Hornsby are defeated. The characters would be seen struggling to gain power over the Commonwealth from its current leaders, and skipping a few years ahead to show the ultimate progress and division among the characters would be the ideal end. But The Walking Dead is known for its twists and never-ending dangers. Honestly, props to the writers for always keeping the show fresh. There's a lot of pressure on them, though, with how it ended. We expect the ideal end result, but be prepared for something that might leave you with a bittersweet taste. Following that, the time jump may just set us up for the future. The Walking Dead TV series is coming to an end. It's sad, but it's true. But in no way is the entire world ceasing to exist. The franchise doesn't seem like it's ready to go, and we aren't either, so thank God. It'll live on through multiple spin-offs, starring Rick, Michonne, Maggie and Negan, and Daryl. The shows are set to take place chronologically after Season 11 of the main show ends. That means that a time jump will help give their stories some sort of a boost. It's interesting to see how the writers will end the show. With that in mind, it wouldn't surprise us if they ended the Commonwealth plot and launched straight into a new chapter of the characters' lives, while the battle's dust settled over them with haunting memories. Maybe that's why they started with a bit of nostalgia. Another end would be that Alexandria takes over the Commonwealth, and it becomes a place of safe haven for all, until a prominent threat arrives, probably something bigger than before, that breaks the group into pieces to deal with it, and gives them their own shows for it. Whatever happens, we're all for it. Bear in mind that the season is set to feature a total of 24 episodes, so there's space for a lot to happen in the episodes left. Moving on, enough about the humans. What will happen to our dear old zombies? The Walking Dead may be ending the Walking Dead part in a surprising glimpse into the future. We know that spin-offs are actively on their way toward us, and while they don't spoil anything for the season, they do reveal interesting details. Tales of the Walking Dead isn't as open with its entire timeline yet, but it's already trickling out. The 4th episode came out, jumping further than the main series. The Walking Dead has teased many ends to the apocalypse. In the comics, the safe zone expands so vastly that many haven't seen a walker. In In Walking Dead World Beyond, the Bennett family and their friends are working on a fungi-based weapon for taking some sweet revenge on the undead that took Carl away from us. And while they're figuring this out, the Civic Republic has its own secret and sacred ideas on how to restore the population. The 4th episode gave us an answer in the form of a dead sector. Dr. Everett describes it as an area spanning hundreds of miles that is guarded and isolated by a trench that's 200 meters wide and about 40 feet deep. This is where the country's said population is contained. With the narration, we can guess that an organized group like the CRM dug this massive canyon. We know the walkers love to herd, so it probably led to a chain reaction with all of them gathering together in the dead sector. But as always, we see that humans still remain the biggest enemies. Dr. Everett states that survivors choose to cross the trench to collect zombie skulls, used as propaganda to scare others. And this desperate attempt to sneak into the trench does show that many aren't used to zombies anymore. But that doesn't mean the apocalypse is over. In addition to that, we have smart zombies. No, we didn't mean smart homes or anything. We're still in the fictional world of The Walking Dead, whose season 11 is leading toward the outbreak's next evolution. Walking Dead World Beyond. Those zombies are capable of jogging and acutely aware of their surroundings, like doors, walls, and more. They were first shown in The Walking Dead Season 1, but who knew at the time that this series would develop into an entire world, extending for years and years. Nonetheless, the trailer footage of the 11th season of the main show promises the entire expose on the smart zombies. Tales of the Walking Dead did add another piece to the puzzle. Now, if we get a bit scientific, all natural things evolve and even break apart into different groups, developing according to their environment. This is how we see species come about, so it's natural that the evolution occurs, even in the brain dead, as they're alive, at least part-time. Anywho, Dr. Everett's documentary describes Specimen 21 killing a wild dog and then leaving the body for the herd behind him, implying that they've been developed, at least a little. Finally, what role would they play? Smart zombies are looking to play a major part in the future of the Walking Dead franchise, and even its end. Whenever it does end, the spin-offs will be geared toward both human and zombie-like problems, but leading to some sort of peace between both, or the end of either, will be interesting to see. Tales of the Walking Dead won't play a huge role in this, or any spin-offs coming up next. It has a very loose connection to the existing plotline. It's more like a description and information on different characters, their stories, and bits and pieces of information. It's unlikely that the zombies will just stay in a dreadful trench. Since they need to bite humans to reproduce, we're excited to see how they end and how our favorite characters dive deeper into their spin-offs. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of The Walking Dead's proposed time jump? Are you excited about the upcoming season finale? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.